You were raised by a single mom, not necessarily from a Christian background, and then you know, when you got a bit older, you started dealing drugs and doing that kind of stuff. Talk to me about the journey from that point to when you actually came to Christ.
Well, you know, my father was you know, a drug addict, and so my mother took the liberty of leaving, and so she did a great job. She did remarry, so you know, I had a stepfather who, as well, didn't really know what it looked like to be a dad, or was raised by his dad. So he just kind of was a great provider, but still needed some insight. Just was kind of rebellious, and just wanted to do my own thing. And so I did figure out whatever I need to do to make money, because I was just in love with money. It wasn't that I was just broke and starving out there. It was that I was in love with money. And so
which is the world's ambition, right?
Sure, right. And so you know, I tried the parties and the selling my little weed on the side and so on and so forth. And you know what? God just put a halt to it. He stopped it all, and just kept blocking me from chasing those idols, and ultimately put me around some individuals who led me to Christ.
Lord, kill me if I don't preach the gospel. Still in my 20s, but I die if I got him.
Although I'm still young, I was I'm still old school inside, right? So I wasn't really always on the whole Christian rap thing. I wasn't quite feeling it. This kind of changed when I came to your concert. I saw something unique. There was a unique connection between you and the people. When I was growing up, when I would go to church, there was a certain bunch of us who would always be outside church chatting and playing about during praise and worship. Now these were the same group of people who you had captivated, and you had indulged them, and you were leading them in a certain form of worship, which is different. It didn't have the organ and the piano behind it. But you know, I'd hear you say, "Who the king? He the king? Who the king? He the king?" And it was just amazing. I was stunned. When did you actually decide that, you know, I'm going to start doing this rap thing for Christ?
Well, you know, it's similar. You know, cultures are interesting because cultures have their own distinctives and their own kind of commonalities. And I think, you know, some people will say, you know, me being an American, you can see kind of the cultural distinctives. You know, it's kind of like some things are just American. You know, okay, that's clearly
like dark meat and white meat. I mean, who does that?
There you go. Yeah, and with the chicken, you go to chicken. I mean, so some things are just some things are just culturally UK. You know, it's just like you get there and you're like, okay, I don't. What is this? Why do you say uni? Why do we say college? And
half and half of milk. We just say semi-skimmed milk.
Tea in the afternoon, and just, you know, some of these.
We don't do that.
All right, good.
I barely have it in the morning even.
All right, right on, man. But I don't put milk in my tea either if I do have it.
Really?
You know, yeah. So, but in the same way, I think, you know, rap and hip hop has some cultural distinctives that they're not inherently sinful. They're not wrong. But there's some that are. And as you become a Christian, you put aside the things that are wrong. So Americans, you know, the idea of the American dream may be that money is the idol, but you know that's wrong. So I'm still American, but I push that to the side. You know, I lay that underneath the blood of Jesus. And in the same way with rap and hip-hop cultures, is we're saying we lay some of these worship of self and all that under the blood, and we exalt Jesus in it, and we just worship the Lord through music.
Would you like a high-profile artist for your concert, conference, or event? Why not get in touch with us to book Grammy Award nominee Dietrich Haddon, singing sensation Marley Music, US Gospel royalty Kira Sheard, or UK's favourite host Michael O. Simply email info@moworldwide.com or log on to www.moworldwide.com. Mo Entertainment, bridging the gap between ministry and entertainment.
Uncle Chris, Uncle Keith, Uncle Ricky. Before the Lord get me, I gotta say something quickly. I grew up iffy since my daddy wasn't with me, shoe. I wasn't picky, I'll take any male figure. You stepped in at the right time. It's cause of you that I write rhymes. You probably never knew that.
Let's talk about business as well. Because you're a businessman. You're not only the talent anymore. You've got Reach Records. Reach Records is the home of obviously yourself, you got people like Triple E, you got Shobaraka, you got Tadashi, you got Pro, you got a whole list of people. He's got more people coming up he doesn't want to talk to me about.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, right? Just let me know. Just let me be the
You get the exclusive.
I get the exclusive. Right. Cool. Peace. Yeah, that's cool. All right, cool. Well, now you got all of this. What is it that you look for? First of all, let me ask you this. Why do you think it's necessary for there to be more people like you out there in the industry?
I think it's important for young people to know that they don't just have to be the talent, that they can have ownership and they can be leaders and they can change culture. The arts are an incredible way to do that, but I think sometimes it's necessary for us to use our gifts and time and talent to shape the way things are done, because the industry can be full of unethical perspectives, and so when you get behind the scenes, you're able to control some of that. And some people don't think that's ministry. They say, oh, this is business, this is ministry. No, business is ministry.
Right.
You know, the earth is the Lord's and everything therein. So
and think about it, Jesus had a treasure. He surely was a businessman if he wasn't.
I mean, he was a carpenter as well. How did he conduct his carpentry? And so, you know, even Moses, when he was having to control all of Israel, it was like there were some business principles that Moses, you can't do this by yourself. You need to delegate. And so God is in control of all these things. And so we just, you know, we just think through that lens as we operate as business.
And now that you just mentioned that, to a certain extent, Christians have kind of shunned the business of it as the devil's thing. So the devil has taken so much control of it and made it difficult for us now to be able to go out there, because now we've kind of, for a very long time, we've kind of left all the entertainment and the business.
You about to preach? You preaching the sermon?
You know what I'm saying? You know, and they are on the top of the. They are kind of like now on the top of the food chain, making it even more difficult for us to penetrate. So I think that's what you're saying is actually scriptural. Is the will of God for us lot to be on the top of the game, ruling the stuff. So we can put the devil stuff out and put Jesus all through there.
That's it.
Good stuff.
I mean,
well,
that's it.
As a label executive, what do you look for in talent? I'm about to rap for you in a minute, but what is it that you look for?
Well, I think first of all, you know, we're a movement. You know, this is a movement of unashamed believers who are firm in their faith, and so we want to find individuals who walk in integrity, who have a sense of movement about them. So we typically don't find somebody who we have to say, hey, you should do something. We find people who are already doing something. And so if they're stirring up something, then we can come behind them and give them that extra boost because they already got something brewing.